On his way to Ascension, Kilhagen roamed the island in search of the hidden shrine. A year passed, and then 10. After a very long time did the old Kilhagen finally understand the nature of his error. The gate was revealed not by the most complex, but the most balanced spell of them all. Hello everybody, and welcome to the final episode of The Legend of Grimrock. Have an awful lot of stuff to discuss with you guys today, an awful lot. We're back here at the main menu before we jump back into the game after the exciting conclusion and roll of the credits last episode. One thing I did want to say, I wanted to show you guys just a little bit again right at the end for that slight change in perspective. We've got, let's start a new game here. I want to show you guys again what character creation was like. We have old school mode, we have Iron Man mode, single use crystals. None of these have been demoed in this series. We also have create characters, which we can import from another file if we like, and do all kinds of things. We've got 3 different difficulties. I showed you guys normal. Hard apparently is brutal, especially with a combination of these things. If we go apply though, check it out. These are all the crazy different things that you can change about the game. We never in this run saw an insectoid being used. An insectoid, as an insectoid, your thoughts are completely alien to other races. Your knowledge of the arcane is unrivaled. Insectoids come in many shapes and sizes, but most often their bodies are covered with a thick shell. We also never really demonstrated like having a pure Minotaur team, or perhaps a team of purely one class. Many classes weren't shown here as well. We've got the Alchemist, who brews potions and defends themselves in combat, in theory by using firearms if they like. We never saw the Barbarian, who is just a complete glass cannon nutball. We saw a tiny bit of the Rogue at the start, the Wizard, sorry, at the start before swapping away. We never saw the Knight, who is like a fantastic tank character either, and the others did get a little bit of a look in. There are tons of different traits as well, which I haven't shown you guys at all. So we have Aggressive, Agile, Aura, Demon, Ancestor, which would have given us further resist to fire. Many interesting race-exclusive ones. So we have Endure Elements for the Lizard Man, Headhunter for the Minotaur, I did show you guys. Fast Metabolism, again for the Lizard Man. Quick on the Insectoids, the cooldown of all their actions can be reduced. Rage on a Minotaur, Strength is increased by 10 when they drop to low health. Plenty of things I never really showed you guys off. And if you ever were tempted to play the game, I do really want to stress, and this isn't me trying to be a shill for Almost Human or anything here, but it really is one of those games that I would say has a fair amount of replayability, that you can do some crazy stuff, create just a whole different group of characters, maybe go with a theme thing, maybe just go pure random, just hit the dice on everything, for every single option, every single character, their names, the whole lot, and see, can you actually complete the game with this whole new party, you know, this whole new party. What do we end up with here? We get, let's have a look. What do we end up with here? We get kind of a scary looking party. 3 Insectoids, this would have been. It would be an Insectoid Knight, Barbarian, and Rogue. Mersob, Snail Legs, Monran, and Bardka, and then a single human hanging out with them, a human fighter called Hmon Rain Rune, with all kinds of stuff, you know. So this is very fun, and something I want to show you guys. However, let's jump into the game, see exactly what's going on. Well, okay, that was pretty fun. We managed to kill the Lindworm, sure, the Island Master's gone. But, you know, I don't think I'm interested in actually getting on that airship. I've grown attached to the Isle of Nex. Let's not go to the docks that we saw on that ancient map. Let's go back downstairs and, you know, roam the island. We've got to know everyone that's sort of here at the moment, right? Killed most of them. But, what could be the harm there? I think we should just go back outside and see the sun. I don't want to leave. I'm an institutional man now. And, there's no break in an institutional man. What the heck? It's the Trickster! Hey, you! We never managed to kill you! You always ran away from us! Oh my god, he disappeared. Where could he have gone? Well, there's only one place anywhere remotely around here we've seen that we haven't been yet, right? Somewhere vaguely around here? Oh my god, the door's open. Down we go. What the hell? This looks like Grimrock 1. Alright, so before we go any further, I was going to cut in a montage there of all of the notes we ever had from Kilhagen. The solution to the end of the game here, there is a secret end to The Legend of Grimrock 2, I'm going to show you guys. The solution to it involves you remembering pretty much anything you ever heard about Kilhagen, and these odd hints about the nature of a 5th shrine, a shrine of balance. So far, pretty much everything in the game has pointed to the idea that there could be another elemental essence. We've heard the creation story there inside the castle about how there were 5 elements, there were these words of creation, these things all existed but cancelled each other out, and so balance was created with the words of creation, and this sort of allowed them to exist together without cancelling each other out, and so the universe was born. And we've had this very interesting idea that yes, we found these four elements in the corner. We have fire in the top left. If we look from like this perspective, no, that doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work at all. Oh no, it does. That's air. Yeah, if we look at it from this perspective, we've got fire in the top left, we have air in the top right, we have ice on the bottom right, and then we have earth in the bottom left. And so we kind of have this curious idea of where do we find balance. And really you can just follow Kilhagen. He talks extensively throughout this game, hinting at the idea that there is some other spell. Do you remember we found at the Hamlet of Stormbreach some final spell we could cast that would allow us access to the 5th shrine? And we need to cast this spell where the powers of the elements are at their strongest. And we are stood there right now. In the middle of each of these elements, we do, of course, on our rune sheet down here, displaying the nature of magic, the final rune in the center, balance. And should we cast our special little spell stood right here in front of the castle, and I believe this was possible basically at the start of the game, we are transported to the hidden 5th shrine. And so this is the big secret at the end of Grimrock. This is actually located in the river tunnels. It's completely secluded. There's no way out here except that teleporter. And this shrine is just on its own. This is the place that Kilhagen was looking for. And so we get our faces, as ever, the one on the right. Endue 4 power gems to fuse them into the essence of element. Not all of the gems lay under the skies. Some of them are buried deep underground. This is the first shrine we found that was also buried deep underground. Here we've got another face. You are well on your way to ascension, it says. With it comes a great price. You still have the choice to turn back. Who are these faces? I am beginning to believe that these faces are ex-island masters, but who knows. And over here, it says this is the shrine of balance. Balance is the invisible force that binds everything together. Without it, the universe could not exist. One thing I thought could have been kind of cool as a concept for Grimrock would have been you take each of these, because this doesn't close the door now, you take each of these and then you put those in the balance shrine. That would have been kind of cool. But no, we're using these extra 4 power gems, which we've painstakingly gathered around our adventure. The final one you can only collect after you've killed the Lindworm. So you really have to go right to the end of the game to that portal and choose to turn around, okay? And then so with all 4 of these, we can place them onto the shrine. We can do what Kilhagen maybe ultimately did. Or that which he could not. And we create our last element, guys. Look at this, and you can see the symbol on the bottom here. This is balance, the essence of balance. Well, this is all very cool. Absolutely, this is very cool. But what do we even want this for? Maybe that'll become clear in about a second. And so yeah, that's kind of everything. Almost everything in the whole game should make sense now. There is only one thing in the entire game that doesn't quite line up with this, and that was there was one of these stone philosophers, who said that we had been lied to, and that 6 was in fact the most powerful number, not 5. It wasn't about 5 shrines, it was about 6. Well, that still won't make 100% sense. But let's progress. Okay, so, oh, hold on. We're going to hit that save crystal. Let's come back up into the hub. We want to strip a button. Now, I'm not doing this one blind here, this stuff. I've done a proper test file here. I want to strip everything we don't need away. I was going to point out the Horn of Summoning. This is only used in the entire game. I lugged it with me throughout this entire series. This is only used in 2 places. 1 at that initial boss, and 2 to create that secret, like just a couple of episodes after it. That's it. So we'll put that away. We do not need the shovel. Actually, no, we will keep the shovel. My mistake. Drop this, the Zarkton harpoon. I'm just going to clear everyone out, okay, basically. we're also going to make sure everyone is full up on their food, so we're going to spread this around. This will be like the one time in the series where I overeat with everyone so that they're all totally maxed out on their hunger bars. Because, again, I don't want anyone getting hungry in the middle of stuff. Oh, we've got the blueberry pie, too! Oh, Tickret, you have been a powerful and great and just leader here. Enjoy your blueberry pie, my friend. Oh, the final thing we eat, pretty much, except Lotopatho eating these fish. We can ignore that. There you go, so the blueberry pie. Also, we have been lugging around. These pellets, people were like, hey, wooden potatoes, you notice that these pellets are there. Yes, I know, but it's because Tickret gets like crazy weighed down, so I swapped those over onto Jonker for a second. Got the skulls, which we will want to keep, so that's fine. All of those potions are fine. The scale cloak, I guess we can put on Sanon. Since the energy regen I don't really care about, or radiance will drop. We do still have each of these power weapons, which we will be using this episode. We're coming into another big boss fight here. A whole bunch of these bombs I don't really think I need, so that's fine. And I would just like to point out here, the only two things I still will keep on Lotopatho of all the notes in the game is this one here, showing the mysterious language of the island, which still will have a use by the end of this video, and also this ancient map. We also have one gold key to spare, which we don't really... Actually, do you know what would also be really cool? Since it's something quite a few people are asking me about, and maybe it's just... I mean, the item in it we really don't care about, right? But this thing right here, since we really were done, pretty much, right? Let's use this gold key here. There we go, and this is what you get, by the way, is the Nectar Branch Wand, a magic wand made from the branch of the Nectar Tree. And so there you go, we'll use that gold key there. And you'll see why I was so fine with that in just a moment, I'm sure. Okay, and we're never going to use it, so we're just going to drop it. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. Oh, actually, no, that's not it. Also, for this final battle, this final encounter, Tickret will, in fact, be using, and Jonker can hold all that stuff, the hand cannon. The problem is he's going to get crazy weighed down, so what we have to do is keep picking up these cannonballs, and then in the middle of the fight, when he runs out, we're going to have to... Wait, why is he... Oh, I'm an idiot, there we go. Onto Jonker there. Well, Jonker's a bit weighed down here. This is why I'm sort of collecting stuff out of their inventories. Sanon's weighed down. Come on, guys, share the load. There we go, cool. So now we've got all of the cannonballs, and we still actually, again, still got the repeater and stuff with us too. So actually, if we run out of cannonballs, we can swap back to the other weapon, but I'll show you guys exactly what the cannon's like and the big shot and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we are cool. Let's head on down to the final area. By the way, when we hit the shrine, we got an achievement, and I'll show you guys the achievement screen very soon, and that was for the final secret of the game. If you've been following this Let's Play, you have seen all of them. You've got enough for all your Steam achievements and stuff now. When you enter this area, you get like 2 achievements pop straight away. One of them is Cartographer, and that again is for basically having gone everywhere. So where are we? We're at the Trickster's lair. This is one floor beneath the river tunnels, okay? So this is even below the Shrine of Balance. And essentially, like, right under the entrance to the castle, I like to think anyway. So what do we have here? It says the lair of the Trickster. And if you look, the place is actually barren. It's empty. There's a key here. There's going to be loads of keyholes on the floor. There's these weird little pits that are going to have spikes that come out to sort of in a similar way that we've seen before. So I guess we kind of want to avoid these. One of these has got some random pellets on the floor in it. There are no secret buttons for us to press in here. We've pretty much pressed all the secret buttons in The Legend of Grimrock. As we explore, we've got kind of these faces here. These look kind of curious. We got a torch. And again, another pit here. But largely, it's just sort of a big empty area. Now I'm just going to try and map it out for all of you guys so that you can see it all, so that we can feel comfortable. Last little bit of wall scraping. Here we go. Not some massive dungeon complex. I definitely do feel the fatigue with this game, the idea of having, you know, just way too many massive dungeon complexes. But lastly, oh look. We have another statue here. And so this is why we did that stuff. And look at the rune, that symbol that's on it. This is the symbol of balance. And so once you have figured all this stuff out and got the essence of balance, you can follow the Trickster into his lair and place the essence of balance on here. So I'm going to do this. Are you guys ready? Let's do it. It's the Trickster. Hey! Okay, we should probably, like, defend ourselves. Alright, he's running off. Great thing about the Trickster is this is going to mimic our first ever experience of fighting him. Oh god, we missed with the cannon. This is going to mimic our first ever experience of fighting the dude, where he's running around. He's going to, like, turn around in a second, I think. Let's shoot him. There you go. Nice. 53 damage. We'll use Big Shot in a second. As he runs around in here, he's going to continue trying to pull switches and use these locks and things that we've been seeing in the area. He's actually not that threatening, even though the music is friggin' crazy right now. You just want to kind of follow him around. There's a big shot. Look at that. Oh, it's so fun. It's so good. I'm loving that you got a crit on it as well. Oh my god. No, no, no. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where is he? Okay, he's there. Okay. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, that's fine. There we go. Another 66 damage. I can't believe he's trying to fight me. Run around, dude. What are you doing? Unleash some enemies. Now, what he'll do usually is he'll... Okay, there you go. So he locked some stuff down. Fireballs are flying around. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Okay. Whoa. I actually didn't... I didn't experience this before. Oh, my God. I'm going to use a crystal shard there. That's really scary. All right, there we go. We managed to survive. Jesus. I actually never experienced that. Okay. What is... Okay, Sanon isn't injured. I thought he was injured for a second. Where's the Trickster gone? Wait, you don't get to heal yourself up, bro. Oh, God. That was a lightning bomb. Lightning bombs really hurt when he uses them on you. Okay, he's near another keyhole. Let's try and not let him use it. There we go. And a couple more big hits. And we can finally finish off the Trickster. We killed the friggin' dragon, man. He's not... Oh, okay, whoa. And there you can see the Trickster becomes the Island Master. We're actually fighting the Island Master now. So this is not the conclusion to the whole battle. This is frigging hard as well, okay? This guy will move around very quickly. He will create... Well, you will see the things that he does. Gonna try... Oh, my God, that cannon hit was huge. Did you guys see that? For such a massive ranged hit, oh my god, Ticker is going mental with the damage at the moment. Okay, so here you can see he's actually just cloned himself. Oh god, wow, another 100 damage, that was really cool. And he's put a shield on himself too. Now, the guy will use a lot of fire magic, a lot of various kinds of magic, to tell you guys the truth. We're going to split some potions over onto Ticker here. He uses an awful lot. Okay, that's fine. So, really you want to be using your shields as effectively as possible. I found it really funny that he commented on us, and he's not talking this time, by the way. Before he was, like, goading us and stuff. This time he's just fighting. Okay, we're going to use another one of those. That's fine. Keep trying with the knockbacks Island Master. It won't get you very far. Okay, oh my god, we're getting great damage in here. Oh my god, okay, that's fine. Fire really isn't too dangerous. Another 300 damage. Oh my god. And now there's one over there. Okay, that's scary. That's scary. Ticker it. Drink again. What the hell? I wanted to split the whole stack. There we go, that's fine. Alright, we're going to be safe for a second. He's going to stop using stuff on the walls. What I was going to say is I find it really funny that in this fight he doesn't talk to us. Before he did. And one of the things actually he mentioned was that we were playing with fire, and this amused him. Why? Are you some kind of master of fire, Island Master? Is that the deal? Well, we shall see. As you can see, the cannon is a huge power weapon. One of you guys actually left a comment that you run out of cannonballs very quickly, and I think that's a really good point. So you really don't get to use it too much. There you go, there's another 200. My god, Ticker, you're going crazy! I used the repeater for this fight last time I did it, okay? So I didn't see just how insane this thing would be. Go again, big shot, oh my god. I mean, he's got a lot of health, as you can see. Come on, dude. But yes, the revelation indeed is that the Trickster, okay, there you go, alright, fine, is the Island Master. Who would have thunk it? I'm going to use one of these as well. So we've all just got plenty of health and stuff. There you go. Oh my god, we've almost got him, we've almost got him. This has been so much easier this time. Go, Ticker it. Who gets the last hit? Hey, there we go, he's down, he's down, he's down. And the Island Master's no more. We're going to heal with the shield here. Now, you could maybe have thought, oh, we killed the Trickster and the Island Master got annoyed with us somehow. And then, you know, teleported in. But then the way that he dies at the end there, it really makes me think that, yeah, he'd just been concealing himself. Every time we ever saw the Trickster, this whole setup mimicked the first time we saw him. That was still just the Island Master toying with us, teasing us. Putting on a bit of a visage. And so, yeah, that's the way this fight works. You want to avoid the pitfalls. I think the Trickster phase should last a bit longer so you can experience more of these traps and stuff. There are lots of side chambers that release enemies, which we'll do in a second. And so, yeah, that's the guy dead, guys. And I think we did that pretty damn well, actually. So there we go. He drops 3 things. First, he drops the Wizard's Visage, which Sanon will take up. He's going to throw his old thing on the floor. So there we go. The Wizard's Verge, sorry, Visage. The Wizard's Verge. And this is energy plus 50, requires concentration too. The flavor text reads, this staff, which has been passed down between generations of Island Masters, is one of the most powerful artifacts known to mankind. The air itself radiates brightly around the staff as raw magical power flows out from the crystal. And I like to think that Drunk Old Sanon has come a long way this series, and by taking up the Wizard's Verge, he is kind of taking up the place of the Island Master. Not the other guys. The other guys, I think, still want to go. But Sanan, he is rising up here. Now, it's got the special ability here, Disintegrate. Now, Disintegrate doesn't take long to charge up. It doesn't even cost that much energy. It does this. It's flash that we saw as the Island Master died. Disintegrate will just one-shot anything in the game, just instantly kill anything for you. And your party won't gain experience from this, but it's basically a way of the dev saying, you're done with everything, here you go, this is the ultimate thing, just kill whatever the hell you want. And I like that as an ultimate sort of reward in an RPG. So yeah, we managed to get Disintegrate. It also kind of says some cool story things about the fact that the Island Master... he really was testing us. He could have killed us at any time. He could have just disintegrated us, and he didn't. Even in this fight, he didn't. Even though he seemed to be fine with us all, he was no longer joking around with us and stuff. He didn't do that. I don't know whether I'd be such a good Island Master. Here we also find a key, which Sanan can rightfully hold here. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they should split the responsibility. Maybe Loto Patho should be the holder of the key, since he held all the others. This is the Master Key. A heavy golden key with a handle shaped like the symbol of Nex. This will open any golden lock, any lock in the game. And so all those extra doors you couldn't get before that you had to like make decisions on, now that you're at the very end, again, you just have access pretty much to anywhere and everywhere you like. And so that's why I didn't really care about spending our last golden key earlier. And lastly, we'll get a note. A note which Ticker can read, I suppose, since the others have been doing stuff. This is the Island Master's Testament. Eons ago, when the world was still new, but intelligence had born, the ancestor spirits determined their work in this world was done. Before leaving this world, they gave the words of creation to the people, and among them to the first guardian of Nexus. For the entire history of the world, the words have been kept in several secret places, but always guarded by uninterrupted chains of guardians. When the previous guardian got weak and tired, a new one stepped up. But how to choose a strong and wise successor for this monumental task? 5,000 years ago, my predecessors found the Isle of Nex and determined it to be the safest place on Earth to keep the words of creation. A series of trials were invented to test the physical and mental abilities of randomly chosen individuals. Since then, countless men and women have been tested by the trials of the island, and now my time has come to step aside. I congratulate you for passing the final test. You are now ready to enter Nexus. Johander of Milan Yara, Island Master, 1325 to 1487. So he was doing this for coming up on 200 years, about 150 years or so. And yeah, so some people have theorized that the Island Master in this game was Kilhagen. Doesn't really look like it. That isn't a name that we've really heard of before. There could be some reference to it in the graveyard, honestly. I don't claim to be a complete and utter expert on the game. Be the kind of thing that I would go off and check after I finish playing the game. But yeah, so this has passed to us, and it's kind of weird because it's like we have 4 people, and one of us is now the Island Master. Of all of us, the Island Master. Well, we do have another cutscene that we can witness to complete the game here. So yeah, we've got all this stuff. We're locked in this room. Let's use our key and see if we can get back out. Now, obviously, this is... it wouldn't have even crossed your mind, really, but yeah, this is one of those places where, oh look, they've locked us in, so here we go. We can use the key. Doesn't consume the key. And we can come through. It feels like less satisfying to open a lock when the key doesn't click. But okay. Alright, so we'll move on out here. And oh god, once again, is this sunset or sunrise? I think it's sunset, right? Because Loto Patho just said he felt strong. Well, that's quite nice. The sun's setting on one final day here on the Isle of Nex. Before we move on in, I do want to say this last little thing that we're going to do. This is where the game will finally end for the secret ending. We're going to come back into the castle, and using this key we obtained, we can now unlock this portal. Very similar to the one we saw on the roof, right? But no, we can now unlock this one here. And instead of like a symbol of an airship, we instead get the symbol of Nex, you see? And so this will take us to Nexus. I never really understood how this story set up. We were trying to head to some other realm, some mystical place called Nexus, but that's totally where we want to go, apparently. As the Island Masters, we now have the right to do this. Before we go through, though, I will just show you guys the statistics screen for the series. This file had 24 hours, 55 minutes of playtime on it. We have 77 out of 77 secrets. We killed 978 monsters, found 2,255 items, all 17 epic items in the game, all 20 power gems, the 5 out of 5 essences, the treasures, the skulls, all 9 of those. We caught 62 fish. We visited all 34 levels, we've used 11 golden keys, walked 46,882 tiles, tiles divided, I'm not quite sure what it means. We fell into pits 20 times, we climbed 395 ladders, performed 4,000 melee attacks, 86 throwing attacks, 920 missile weapons attacks. That's really interesting, because if you imagine that that's like 1,000, that means that Tikrit actually was not really doing a quarter of the work in a lot of these fights. I guess it's because Lotopatho could double up and was so much quicker. That's probably what threw it. 75 firearms attacks, and by God, they were strong ones. 12 unarmed. I mean, having an unarmed character. Think about going back through the game doing that. 1,144 spells. Mixed 147 potions, and we polymorphed just once. One of the only achievements in the game I don't have that I could easily get is the polymorph one, so let's have a look here. So here we go. These are my achievements. We got pretty much everything. The main ones to point out, and a lot of these dinged off screen, unfortunately, are stuff like Sage. We learned 15 spells. We got Master Alchemist, made 50 potions. We got Secret of Secrets. This is one that a lot of people would struggle with. Found all the secrets. We've dug up 3 treasure chests, all kinds of stuff. I'll just scroll through these. It would take too long in the video to just go through all of them. The only ones that I'm missing that haven't been demonstrated and will not probably be demonstrated are Hard Boiled, complete the game on hard. Doing it old school, complete the game with old school mode. Identity Crisis, polymorph 10 times. Summon the Viper Roots in under 6 minutes. That's like the equivalent of in the first game where you had to complete the first floor of the dungeon really, really fast. I actually did a bonus episode on it. Probably won't for this game, but yeah, that's like your speed run of the first floor of the dungeon kind of thing. We got the full Monty, kill a monster by throwing pants at it, and Insane Iron Man, complete the game with Iron Man and single-use crystals both turned on. Otherwise, we have everything. Okay, so let's save. And we're going to watch a final cutscene now, guys. And this final cutscene has a lot hidden in it. So we're going to watch it, and then we're going to watch it again. So this is the Nexus. You might already notice something that you can see there. The serpent bracelet down there. That chalice, a lot of the things you see on the floor there were treasures from Grimrock 1. Here we are. In a library, the libraries of Nex. See, the other ending will look so disappointing. And there we go. Okay, hold on. So there's actually a lot of stuff hidden in this cutscene. You guys should now be able to see me on the desktop. I've recorded it. We're going to watch it back together. I'm going to talk this time. It's a really cool cutscene. I love the music. It's phenomenal. My God, they got such great music for this game and barely got to use it. But okay, so there is still more to do in the game. A little bit of backstory here. People using the console, which you can enable through a config file in your documents if you like to be able to manipulate the game, spawn items and stuff, found out there was an item in Grimrock called the Cube Key. And this didn't seem to be available for acquisition anywhere, and made people realize there could be some kind of big secret egg in the game. There was a lot of discussion about it. Eventually the devs made a couple of posts on the forums giving people a few hints, and ultimately it led to a certain dig spot somewhere out there in the game. I will show you guys very soon, revealing something very cool. And for a long time people thought it was just like you had to look in the code for it, and it was this really bad riddle. I was reading the forums about it earlier, and some guy was going on and on about how this was the most terrible thing ever and ruined the game and was completely wrong, like the worst kind of trolling I've ever seen. But there is a legit way to find this secret in the game, and the way you do it is through the final cutscene. So let's rewatch. I'll have the volume a lot lower this time, and I know that's a bit of a crime because the friggin' sound design is so incredible. But here we go. So straight away, if I pause, what do you guys see here? I already talked to you about how we've got the serpent bracelet down here. This was an item in both Grimrock 1 and 2. We've got loads of treasure. The idea, I guess, being that Nexus is this vast, wealthy library or repository of artifacts and things. But what's this on the left? You might recognize this if you played the first game. This is a dragon statue. These were actually things we never saw in Grimrock 2, but were marble statues that appeared in some of the deepest levels of Mount Grimrock. This curious mountain we traveled to in the first game. So let's play it forward a little bit more. We can see the libraries back there. I believe we've heard of the libraries of Nex before. And here we go. This is what we're looking at. So progressing along here, you can see more treasures. The crown from the first game. It's like someone who collected all these treasures like we did before, the orb over there, came back somehow or dumped all of this stuff off here. Of course, here's our adventuring party, and let's pause for a second. What do you see? Here's the dragon statue again. And what's this over here? Guys, this is a Goromorg. So for those who never experienced the first game, in Mount Grimrock, we learned about these creatures, these priests, these Goromorgs who were sealing away a great weapon of destruction. Okay, this powerful cube, this monstrous sentient cube at the bottom of the prison. And here we have a Goromorg. None of them really appeared in this game. Snake-like things appeared in this game. The Island Master, we perhaps thought could have been a Goromorg, never ended up being one. So these are like this fascinating race that are still being hinted at here in this game, but no exposition has been given, and this sits with me in a really nice spot. And what were they doing? They were tackling these cubes? What do we see over here on the left, guys? What's this peeking behind this this library, this bookshelf right here? Moving forward a bit. This is a cube, guys. This is the final boss from the previous game. Here in the cutscene, look at it right there. What's it doing here in Nexus? Now, you might think the thing we killed in the first game was called the Undying One, and it was one of these cubes. You can see it there as well. Look, two more Goromorg statues back there. The Goromorgs had something to do with this place. But actually, there was an item in Grimrock 1 that suggests we acquired a weapon at the very end of the game to destroy this final boss, this cube. And the flavor text on it said that these were created to destroy the cubes, as if there are plural of them, as if there are many of them. And so, perhaps this is the second one we're seeing. Is that the same one we saw in Mount Grimrock at the end of the previous game? Why is it here? Who knows? So anyway, those are just cool little things you can see in the background. Then we come to this book, this tome, this thing with all of this information in it. And the language you're actually seeing here is a basic cipher that can be translated, as in every little symbol you can see on the book here actually just is a substitute for a letter in English. So this symbol means A, this symbol means B. So this is English written right here, and we can translate it. People have translated it. We can obviously see straight away that this looks like some kind of a Zarkton here. And actually, I did manage to find online a complete translation of this page of the book. This is just a little bit of cool lore. I was very tempted to give it to you guys at the start of this video, but I figured the Kilhagen stuff was maybe a little bit more sensible. So let's run through this. This is a study of Zarktons, and it gives us more information than the game manual that I had been reading to you guys in those little lore sections early on in the series. So this says, study of Zarktons. Zarktons are amphibious creatures that are as home on dry land as in water, but they never leave too far from water, because they are dependent on moisture and need to dampen their skin from time to time. The origin of Zarktons is a highly debated topic. Some say Zarktons have evolved from fishes, and some say they were originally land creatures that moved to live partially in the water. Sometimes Zarktons are seen far in the open sea and are often mistaken for mermaids. Being amphibious creatures, Zarktons have both lungs and gills, so they can breathe air and in water. Zarktons have primitive culture systems, and they made use of resources from sea to create clothing and accessories from shellfishes and other small creatures they hunt. Swimming in water and walking on land have developed Zarktons' leg muscles to enable them to take long leaps to hunt down their prey and attack anyone coming into their territory. So that's what this says, right here, that's what this says. It's really, really cool, so like that word there would be territory at the end. I love that they have all this extra information that we as players like never really got too much on. But what does that mean? That means every time this book flicks a page, there is information we can glean. So let's look at each page as we go through. This one just has a bunch more information. I'm sure a lot of it can be translated. I actually haven't found too much information on a lot of the other stuff. I think it might just be generic information on various things. Here we find some curious looking scribbles and some diagrams here. Can't really translate them too well. Here the page opens very curiously and for a little bit longer, only a brief moment, on a map. And this, my friends, is a map of the real world. Look at this. Why is this here in Grimrock? This is Earth. What are they doing here with the story? This is Earth. This fantasy world that we've always understood as something completely different. Why are they referencing Earth? And if you look, also, it's marking here, too, the locations of various things, various pyramids throughout the world. So supposedly Egypt, I think this one's slightly off, but we've got pyramid kind of structures over here in South America. We've got some over here, like Chinese, and I believe as well, apparently there's down one, here you go, you can see one here. There's one at the South Pole. And there are actually news stories about some supposed mountains that look, in real life I'm talking right now, that look like there's supposedly 3 pyramidal structures that people don't know if they were man-made or what, that you can actually find there in real life. What are the devs doing here? Is this just some tiny little Easter egg? Are they trying to say that this universe is the same as us, connected very randomly and weirdly? Do we even like this idea? Here you can find some kind of strange marking on the side too. Who knows what this means? Crazy stuff. Let's go to the next page. And this is the last page. This page is very, very interesting. What we see quite clearly is the foreign language again, but we have what looks like an island and what looks like a mountain. I'm going to pull up an image here so that someone else made so you guys can see this. Here we go. This is the full translation. Look, we have Mount Grimrock on the left, the Isle of Nex on the right. I don't know if that's just a spelling error or what. But you can actually see, look, these are all the old levels from the previous game. They're all marked out. And you can see a totally different perspective of the way the prison or the mountain was structured that we never saw in the previous game. So we have the more old tunnels, pillars of light, the more we sort of just fell through, I guess, in the previous game and never actually got to see. The old tunnels, pillars of light, archives, hallways, trap. Ancient chambers, the vault, first temple, second temple. These are all slightly different names for those levels. The tomb, the prison, and then lastly the cemetery. And of course you've got the prison where we released this ultimate cube monster in the previous game. And over here we get something a little bit more. And this is the hint to the final secret in Grimrock. We'll be back in game in just one second. The top line reads, "The one who knows you have been lied to." And then here we get a whole bunch of directions. So this is something you have to translate to be able to read something that itself is its own language. That's how obfuscated this is right now. It says connected but apart. Is it talking about these two locations? They're connected but apart, but they're so loose strands, the information. How can we speculate beyond this? And what happens? What is it? Where is this trying to tell us to go, guys? Who knew that we had been lied to? Oh, here, check it out. All right, we'll cut back in here. Boom, that's Disintegrate. A Gorgon was in our way there. Yes, guys, so check it out. We're back in game now. And we're in the desert. And so we had one person here saying that the way to Ascension led through the hidden 5th shrine. We are totally ascended now. We're fine. But do you remember that we had another face? I've already mentioned it in this episode. There was another face in this desert that said something to us. And let's try and find them. And here they are. You have been misled. Not everything is composed of 4 sides. 6 is the most powerful figure. Could the secret hidden ending cutscene, the secret within that cutscene, be referring to this face? The one face that is stood in stark contrast to pretty much everything else. Every other face has told us something worthwhile in the entire game. This one hasn't. What does he mean 6 is the most powerful figure? Not 4, not 5, 6. Well, if we were to stand here and we were to look at the AM and the FAS and everything that Loto Pafo has been lugging around here, the ARs and the E's and the NAs and so on, it would lead us somewhere. And I'm not actually going to translate it directly with you guys right now, but I'll show you where we end up going. We would end up going back down here, not too far away from the face. You want to start at the face, and I believe we end right here, facing forwards. And from this location, if we were to dig here with Junker, once again, one final time, if we dig, not 1 time, not 2 times, but 3 times. And I'm not sure where the 3 digging actually comes from, if there's another hint, unfortunately. If we do this, we get another hidden achievement in the game called Relic. And we reveal another one of these cubes. Now, a lot of people are straight away going to be thinking, oh my god, the final boss from Grimrock 1! What the hell? Why is it here? I actually do not believe that this is the final boss from Grimrock 1, just because there's a destroyed cube here. You could maybe say in the first game, for those of you who don't know, I just went to my world map because I was going to show you the mountain somehow. On the previous game, the entire mountain exploded and disappeared once we defeated the cube at the bottom. And the idea would be that maybe it came flying here. But I don't believe that. I believe they already set up in Grimrock 1 the idea that there were many of these cubes. I think we see another one. We've seen potentially 3 of these things now. And this one just happened to be here. But it did say, on that same page, leading us here, hinting at, bringing us to this Easter egg, it said that these 2 places, this island and this mountain, are somehow connected. Do we find it a coincidence that the island master we just usurped was from a place called Mulanyara, which is a forest right next to Mount Grimrock? There are too many things that connect stuff together. It's very, very curious to me. And who knows what they're trying to say. Is this game a prequel? Is it a sequel? When does it exist on the timeline? What the hell does all of that real-life Earth stuff mean? I have no idea. Some people have came out with some really crazy ideas as well, of things you could maybe do to find this. Someone even said, what if you use disintegrate on like the orb of balance somehow and destroy the universe? Fun ideas like that, but they don't really seem to work. But yeah, there is some connection, something deeper, and maybe a third game in the series is just what we need, guys, to understand that bit more about the Goromorgs and these cubes and what the hell the true history is in this universe. I'll leave on one final thought. The face. The face just said to us that 4 is not the powerful number. 6 is. Well, 4 is not the powerful number. In theory, 5 is because of balance. But even not that. 6 apparently is the most powerful number. It's curious then to me that a cube is what we just dug up. And a cube has 6 faces. And it's curious to me that the rune of balance has 6 sides to it. And if you were just to draw a couple of lines inside it to that dot, we'd be looking at a cube, right? What does that then mean about these creatures? And there we go. Alright, so there you go, guys. That is the full secrets, everything done for The Legend of Grimrock 2. What a fantastic game, what can I say? We'll sit through the credits here. Obviously, this is still, this is a very small Finnish studio that did this game. And, there's really not going to be many credits here, you'll notice. It's really easy to pay attention. It's actually kind of a bit of a joy, to be honest. You can have games like this where you actually want to pay attention rather than just watch all these names you don't care about whiz by. You know that each person here did a really substantial amount of work on the game, and that feels pretty good. Anyway, this was a great series. I'm so happy that we came back for Grimrock 2. I'm looking forward to more stuff from Almost Human. It was a lot longer than I thought. Jesus. You guys may not remember, this is going to be a little bit about what's going on with the channel after this. When we started this, I was originally planning on doing, like, 1 episode every, like, day and a half, and I was alternating with Final Fantasy X-2 videos, but I only made it, like, a week, if that, before I realized that just wasn't possible, so I figured, hey, I'll finish Grimrock eventually, and then we'll go back to X2, so that is going to be the next series. We're going to be finishing that stuff up. I swear, I had no idea the game was as extensive and expansive as it ultimately ended up being, but that's a great thing, right? When you go into it with lower expectations than ultimately you come out with. You know, I remember when we first entered the pyramid, I honestly thought, we were a reasonable amount through the game there. I think there's some quote from me early on in the series around that time where I say, oh, we're at least a third of the way through. Secretly in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, we're probably 50% at least. And I think we were barely at 50% at that point, right? There was just so much. And yeah, I've talked a little bit about how, because a lot of it is dungeon crawling stuff, you really do have to love dungeon crawling, and if you spread it out for too long, I think maybe the game can fatigue you a little bit. But and again, another thing that I mentioned a long time ago is I think the greatest strength of this game is it always surprises you with what it's capable of, right? Like every new area you go to, you're like, wow, I can't believe they did that. Look at this cool down thing that they held off until this late in the game to show us. And doing a whole secret ending, and even with the little money and resources they have to actually be able to create these cutscenes, right? They're obviously limited, otherwise there would have been multiple of them throughout the game. They still took the time to have such a big, cool secret at the end, a cool secret ending, and then beyond that, all the other stuff hidden within it, and the secret in the desert. My God. It also raises so many questions about the universe, and it's in that really tantalizing, the mystery stage that I very much enjoy. And I'm just very glad that I got to play it with you guys. I hope you all really enjoyed watching it with me. Fantastic stuff, and we'll see what they come out with in the future. I will be following very keenly. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do. There's the Trickster. And look how happy he is with his hat off. We'll see you next time.